If there is a modern fairy tale that left the world both in awe and utter shock when it collapsed, it is undoubtedly the story called Brangelina. Let us travel back in time to the years around 2015, when the names Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie did not just represent the two most powerful stars in Hollywood, they were the symbol of a multicultural family so perfect, it seemed unreal. 6 children, 3 of color, 3 white, appearing radiantly together on the covers of the world's most prestigious magazines. Wherever they went, glamour and admiration followed. People looked at them as the gold standard of success, benevolence, and eternal love. But have you ever wondered, behind the magnificent velvet curtain of that perfection, how the media chess pieces were meticulously arranged to manipulate our belief? Because the pinnacle of image-building art is making the audience believe they are witnessing a real life, not a finely scripted play. For over a decade, the world was mesmerized by the tale of a bad boy redeemed by a rebellious woman to build a humanitarian home together. We greedily consumed images of them holding hands on the red carpet, their charity trips to impoverished lands, and the lavish praise they showered upon each other in the press. But the media is a double-edged sword, and the more dazzling the spotlight, the darker and denser its shadow becomes. The turning point came on a day in September 2016, on a private flight from France to Los Angeles. An incident, an argument, and a divorce petition filed in a flash. Within 24 hours, the flawless castle named Brangelina crumbled into dust, leaving millions of fans utterly bewildered. And immediately, one of the most brutal media wars in Hollywood history officially began. No more sweet words. Now their weapons were leaked court documents, allegations of violence and addiction, and ruthless smear campaigns executed through major and minor tabloid outlets alike. Look at how social media algorithms and the PR powerhouses behind them began tearing this story into tiny fragments to feed the public's morbid curiosity. The public was instantly split into 2 fiercely opposing camps, Team Brad and Team Angelina. One side painted Brad Pitt as a pitiful father, a victim of manipulation and resentment from his ex-wife, a man striving every day just to see his children and right the wrongs of his past. On the other side of the battlefield, Angelina Jolie was portrayed as a resilient mother, standing alone to protect her children from the dark corners of her powerful husband, but simultaneously branded by the opposing camp as a selfish woman, using her children as weapons to ruin her husband's reputation. Where does the truth lie in this war? Perhaps it has been buried beneath thousands of pages of legal documents and millions of sensationalized articles. The terrifying thing is that the crowd does not need the truth. They only need a dramatic script that aligns with their preconceptions. When looking at the Jolie Pitt children, who have now grown up and begun taking public actions to distance themselves from their father, people continue to dissect them. Some claim the children have been brainwashed by their mother, while others believe it is the inevitable consequence of deep traumas inflicted by the father in the past. Once again, the children, who are the biggest victims of this divorce, are turned into pawns, living evidence for netizens to weigh and judge. The addictive mechanism of this scandal lies in the fact that it satisfies a secret but incredibly common human psychological trait, schadenfreude, the malicious joy at the downfall of the elite. When a family deemed the ultimate symbol of perfection shatters, a segment of the audience feels an unconscious sense of relief. It proves that wealth, fame, and peak beauty cannot buy happiness. It drags the gods of Mount Olympus down to the same level as flawed mortals. The algorithm understands this perfectly. It continuously pushes content analyzing Brad Pitt's body language at award shows or Angelina Jolie's tearful interviews, creating an inescapable content loop. But what is the price to pay for a decade of public mudslinging? It is the total erosion of the most sacred values: family relationships, the bond between father and child, the connection between husband and wife. Things that should be the most private and protected are now exposed in the digital square for millions of anonymous accounts to comment on, criticize, and curse. Brad Pitt, even if he has regained Hollywood's favor through cinematic awards, will forever be followed by the stain of an imperfect father. Angelina Jolie, no matter how hard she tries to maintain her image as a humanitarian activist, cannot escape the criticism of being extreme in her parenting. This reflects a harsh reality of contemporary pop culture. We consume the tragedies of others as a form of entertainment. A 10-year divorce for them is just a brief headline scrolling across your phone screen during lunch. But for those involved, it is 10 years of torment, prolonged therapy sessions, and a family that can never be whole again. We, the audience sitting in the darkness of the social media theater, have unwittingly become accomplices, feeding the flames of their hatred with our own curiosity and clicks. Look at children like Maddox, Zahara, or Shiloh. Their decision to legally drop Pitt from their last names is not merely a legal statement. It is a desperate cry from children wanting to escape the overwhelming shadow of their family name, wanting to break free from a media war they were dragged into since they were toddlers. Yet on the internet, that action is instantly turned into a topic for fiery debates about filial piety, fairness, and who is right or wrong. The crowd behaves as if they live under the Jolie Pitt bed, knowing every nook and cranny of the story when in reality, they only know what public relations representatives want them to know. This is the very essence of mass manipulation. Major stars always have a powerful army of PR experts standing behind them. Every single article that appears on People or TMZ, every quote from a source close to the family, is a calculated strategic move designed to shift public opinion. They know exactly when to play the victim to evoke sympathy, when to drop new evidence to attack the opponent, and when to stay silent to cool things down. We, the audience, think we are freely evaluating the situation, but we are actually just reacting to the exact emotional beats that media experts have pre-programmed for us. The tragedy of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's family is a costly lesson about the illusion of the spotlight. It shows that once you sell your private life to the media devil in exchange for fame and power, you can never buy it back at any price. When the marriage ends, you cannot just close the door and talk it out, because that door was kicked down by millions of camera lenses a long time ago. You are forced to play out your script until the very last scene, even when it is the most painful tragedy. It is time for us to wake up from the infatuation with red carpet stories. Stop idolizing an unreal, perfect life, and stop using their mistakes as entertainment for ourselves. A cool head to distinguish truth from PR stunts, and a heart grounded enough not to get sucked into someone else's vortex of hatred. That is what every netizen needs in this day and age. Do not let yourself become a mindless tool for the algorithm, and do not turn the pain of a family, even the most prestigious family in Hollywood, into your daily spiritual nourishment. Let us return the Brangelina story to its rightful place, a family tragedy that needs privacy to heal, not an indefinite reality TV show for the entire world to judge.